There's just something very exciting about ordering seeds from either a catalog or online. I have a seed company that I have ordered from over the last, I'd say, probably 5 to 7 years. Maybe longer, maybe closer to 10. I ordered a grow light from Vesey Seeds. That's Veseys Seeds Limited Company. And I've never looked back since. I enjoyed the information listed on their website because I like to check out these things. Here's a little intro into the seed company that originates in Prince Edward Island, Canada. The founder of this company is Arthur Vesey. Here's how it starts off in the first paragraph of their roots from their Facebook page. It reads, "It all began on a shoestring," is the way Arthur Vesey, the founder of Vesey Seeds, described the beginning days of Vesey Seeds. From a very young age, Mr. Vesey operated a market garden in a rural community of York, Prince Edward Island, which is in Canada. During his market gardening years, he was keenly interested in securing and testing seeds that were suitable for the cool, short growing seasons of Atlantic Canada. That's what caught my eye, was the short growing seasons. Because here in Northern Ontario, I have the same thing. I have very short growing seasons, and I thought this seed company just might put me in the right direction. I also enjoy reading or hearing about people's paths in life and which directions, in a most simplistic way, took them on a journey well beyond their expectations. When he was ordering his own seeds, he soon began to include seed orders for his neighbors. This eventually led to the establishment of a small retail seed business located in one room of his home. Obtaining a small kitchen scale, an old cracked dish and spoon, the business was born. Speaking of his own gardening experience, Mr. Vesey said, "I was preparing for the seed business and I didn't even know it." Yes, folks, I love this story and I just had to share it with you inside my video. I am not sponsored by this company whatsoever. I just really am very happy with my purchases. I'm very happy with the way they package my orders and their speed in which they deliver it to me. I'm very pleased, and I just have to say thank you to this company, and thank you, Arthur, for having such a wonderful work ethic. And his gardening roots go back to 1939. Oddly enough, I am getting ready for next spring's potting up of seeds. The martini cucumber caught my eye, and so did the collards. I couldn't grow my collards this year because I didn't have any seeds, but I have it for in the spring. I could probably plant some, and I just might plant a few within the next few days, possibly even today. I already have my fall radishes, fall rutabagas planted in my garden truck, and I can't wait to try these pruners. I just can't wait. I have a cedar tree that needs pruning. So I have my peat pods for the spring of 2021. I have plenty of time for my radishes and my spinach and my lettuce. I also have 50 days for collards, and I have 35 to 40 days for the turnips, the Tokyo Silky Sweet turnips. I have 55 days for the cucumber. We're having rain for the next few days, and I think I'm gonna just sow a few seeds out there and save the rest for spring. But I'm glad I didn't yank out that what I thought was a weed and what Mr. Google Pants thought was a weed, because it turns out it's not a weed. It is coneflower. That's right, folks. Echinacea. So, looking over my garden, trying to get everything to go vertical instead of horizontal to save it from the slugs. Hopefully, once the fruit appears, those rusty, trusty, acrobatic squirrels and chipmunks won't peck away at everything. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? A few days ago, when I was looking around in my garden and changing some things around, removing barriers that I no longer need to protect my plants from any pets in the yard, I often was asking myself while I was out there, I was there for a few hours, going, why am I even bothering? It's such a battle with all these pests. If it isn't the weather, this year has been an exception. Oh my goodness, this weather has been crazy. And then the animals and the critters are all hungry coming out of winter, and then the slugs and snails, yes indeedy. And I typically don't plant a lot of the same plants, so I usually lose everything. But this year I planted, I believe I have 7 or 8 butternut squash plants out there, so if they eat through a few of them, I have some backups. Trying something different this year. They may peck at every one of them, who knows. I moved the gate from one part of my yard to another, and I was looking at the critters on this old stump. I am amazed what is out there, and I'm doubly amazed I'm not grossed out by it. I just tend to stop and ponder for a moment and see what's crawling around, what's new to look at, and I'm always amazed. And then that was my answer. That's why I do what I do. I don't do it to feed myself. I don't have enough property or land that will give me a lot. I can't plant out in my front yard. I don't think it's legal in my neighborhood. And plus there's too much infrastructure underneath my front yard. So this is a year of running different tests, planting different plants in ground, in my permaculture bed, in containers, trying to make it look pretty and not tacky, and be amazed at the plants and the structure and the strength. I mean, when I was feeling tired and worn out there and it's so hot, I looked at that vine from the butternut squash finding its way over to a stake and wrapping itself around very tightly. Yeah, I'm continually amazed by the tenacity of plants. I thought I would take a little stroll out into my garden and see what's what. But first I had a container full of eggshells that I needed to squeeze and chop up with my hands, and planted it around the perimeter of my squash and hope for the best. So far, having my squash going vertically has helped with the slug damage. They haven't really bothered to crawl up there, perhaps because the birds will eat them off, or maybe the birds are eating them off as soon as they're going up there. I don't know what the reason is, or if I did anything that helped it. Going vertical helps it or not, I don't know out there in my permaculture bed. Every year I try different things. So I have, in this container, I have coffee grounds, tea bags, sweetener packages that are empty, along with my eggshells. And I picked all the other stuff out and then put it in my compost bin, and then saved my eggshells to go around my squash plants, just to be a little deterrent. Oh, anything. Anything that might help would be a blessing in disguise. Most definitely. As soon as all of the flowers had fallen off of the honeysuckle bush that's turned into a ginormous tree almost, I was going to prune it down. Well, I didn't have any pruners, so I took a sip of coffee and sat there for a few moments just looking at it, going, it's a beautiful wall, because I just trimmed it down with scissors and got it to be, oh, I don't know, pruned a little bit, so I could walk by there without running into it and having any of the bees or whatnot being interested and stinging me on my face or my neck. So I'm heading out there to my permaculture bed. Sorry about the honeysuckle tree. You can't see me doing what I'm doing, but I'm sprinkling those crushed eggshells around the squash plants just to be on the safe side. I don't use any pesticides or any diatomaceous earth. Or I did use diatomaceous earth a couple of years, but it seemed like every time I used it, it would rain, and then you have to use it again, then it would rain, and it's very expensive up here to buy that. And I couldn't really get it in a big quantity. It was sort of in a small quantity, and it was very expensive. And I just thought, no, I'm not going to bother. I can buy my squash cheaper than buying this diatomaceous earth to grow my own squash. It got to the point where I want to garden with only purchasing seeds or using saved seeds of my own and seeing what happens to them. And hopefully no danger of, well, who knows what you're going to get with your saved seeds. There's a lot of talk about the heirloom seeds and all the other stuff. I don't know. I just save my seeds and plant them. If it doesn't taste good, I don't eat it. If it tastes good, I'm happy and I enjoy my vegetables. Yeah, I enjoy my vegetables. So I have my pruners now, so I'm going to be attacking the honeysuckle tree and the cedar trees out there very soon when it's no longer raining out there. My videos are not a how-to video. It's more of a blog or however you call it, the young folks call it. I enjoy talking to you when I'm making videos, so my videos are going to be just chit-chat, and you get a little peek inside of what I'm up to. And hopefully in the process you enjoy your few moments or minutes or half an hour or whatever it winds up to be with me here in my garden, because I enjoy talking to you. When I do the voiceovers for my garden, I picture each and every one of you in my mind's eye, and it's like we're sitting all together as a group of gardeners and we're just talking with one another. Unfortunately, I tend to have the floor with each of my videos because you can't talk back to me while I'm making them. So I'm like the speaker of the house as I give you a little tour around what I'm growing. This little compost bin that I set up next to my hydrangea bush is right above where I usually throw down spent leaves or whatever when I'm, cleaning up plants on my deck up high. And I thought, why don't I put something there that I can make into a composter instead of just throwing it down on the ground. So I took my chicken wire that I had as a deterrent for the chipmunks on my strawberries, which I removed, and I cleaned that up and tried to pull all the strawberry plants out and just left my chive plants. My chives went to seed, so I sprinkled the seeds because they finally dried, and I moved some of the strawberries here to this old rickety wooden barrel. I've had this barrel sitting there for 19 years. Yes, I have. And I've had different things planted in it, anywhere from poppies to lettuce to tomatoes to squash to sunflowers. Yeah, I have a lot of things planted. So I thought I would go back out in my garden and see what's going on with my plants. And there are the eggshells. Thought I'd better show you. The crunched up eggshells that I scattered around my squash and my eggplant right there. Eggplant is really starting to take off now, but my deck eggplant growing in the recycle bin is beating it hands down. It's got about 8 different flower buds on it now. But these are the multitude of butternut squash that I have here. Trying to get them to go vertical, which they're doing, and they appear to be happy. They're only going to go so high, and then they're going to drape back down probably. I'm saving my onion bags to sort of cradle some of the fruit if they start to develop fruit up high, because the weight of them, because they're going to be heavy. I don't want them to snap the plant. So I went in the back, and there were some few more branches, and this is the I'll show you in a moment, the cedar tree that I need to prune, and I have a lot of dead area on that tree. I am debating whether or not to just cut it down, but I may prune it first, because I can bend the limbs down and prune them off, and then when it gets to the trunk part, it'll be easier to manage, and that way nothing will fall onto the permaculture bed and damage my plants or my hostas plants. So perhaps I'm not going to change my hostas plants and divide them up this year. I'm going to leave them where they are. Right there is where I need to divide, because my irises that I put in front of my permaculture bed a couple years ago are doing beautifully, and they bloomed. But in the other area, they didn't bloom because the hostas bed just took over and, well, drowned them out for sunlight, I suppose. So, between aches and pains and the occasional rain and the quite steady humidity and triple-digit temperatures, I still have a lot of work to do out in the garden. So, what was I thinking? There's the cedar tree that was moved from the front of the yard, well, the front of the backyard, to back here. And as you can see, there's dead branches that need to be removed. So I'll keep you updated if you're interested.